Hi everyone. In the previous session, we have seen the concept of what is the need of Git and GitHub. There is a basic difference between the Git and GitHub. Git is meant for the local repository, GitHub is meant for the remote repository. Okay, and all the remaining things are same. Like for example, if you would like to overcome these problems, then you can go with Git or GitHub. Mainly which is meant for to share the source code. Okay, and we have seen how to create a GitHub link. All those things we have seen in the previous class. And then we have discussed an important point. Whenever you are going to develop a website and place it in a server, you have to make sure that you have to place at least one file with this name. Because if any one of the given files are not available, then automatically it is going to provide as error, because it won't identify automatically which file need to be loaded for the first time. So that is the reason it is going to provide an error. But if you provide at least one of the given files, based on the priority it will load the corresponding file. Okay, this is what we have seen in the previous session. Okay, now in this session we'll see git installation. Git installation, I mean, in the previous session we have worked with how to add a file, how to upload a file, how to create a file, and all these things we have done from the GitHub, right? Yes. Now what we can do is we can do the same operations with the help of local repository, that is Git. Okay, fine. I already shown how to download that GitHub Git also. So I have already downloaded this and I am going to double click on this one. So it will ask for the confirmation. Click on yes. Click on next. Yes, it is asking for in which folder you need to install the software. Click on next and make sure that what options you require, all those should be selected. If I don't want to go for in shortcut icon on the desktop, that's why I have unchecked this one. Click on next. And what is the start menu? Go for click on next. Okay, here it is asking for editor. By default the Git is providing Vim editor. If you want, you can able to select your own editor, which is going to provide here the install editors. I have the Sublime text as there, Visual Studio Code, Git editor is there, like that you can able to select the best one. Whatever you want you can able to select. Click on next. And by default the local repository is going to have root name as master, and for the GitHub the root name is main. Okay, let Git decide what name to put for the root folder. That is what I am saying as let Git decide. Click on next. Yes, here you can observe, once we install this software you can able to work with Git. Okay, for that for that here you can able to work it through command prompt, or we can able to work it through any kind of third party software. That is what we have said. I don't want to go for executing the Git from third party software or from the command prompt, then I can go for using Git bash only. No, I want to execute it from either command line or I want to execute from any third party software, then I can go with next, because it is easy for us to work with Visual Studio or any kind of Sublime text, etc. So that's why I have selected this option. Click on next. I would like to use the bundle which is provided by Git only, that's why I'm selecting as bundle. If you want you can able to select external and you can provide that. Click on next. For SSL also I will select the given library file. Click on next, and as I am trying to work with Windows I will go with the first option. Click on next. I am trying to use the default terminal, that is why click next. And you can go with selecting the default. Click on next. Yes, whenever you are trying to push some data from the local repository to remote repository, then you have to compulsory make sure that you have to select it as Git credential manager. I don't want to go for submitting the data to the remote server. I am working myself on my system, then I can go for none, because I don't need require any kind of authentication, right? It is myself acting. So as I'm trying to show for you to upload data from local repository to remote repository, collaboration work. That's why I selected Git repository, Git credential manager. Click on next. Enable file selection caching. You can study there. You can understood. I do not go for both because these two are new versions. So I'm just click on next. Install. It will be installed. Okay, fine. Guys, once installation is completed, if you would like to work with Git, you have to make sure that you have to know various kind of commands. Various kind of commands. See, not only commands, you can go with there is an interface called GUI interface. GUI interface. To that interface also you can able to work with that. But majorly we'll concentrate on commands. Like for example, I would like to go with the hyphen version, which is meant for to define the installed Git version, which is going to provide the Git version. If you are going to provide help, which is meant for when you got any kind of doubt regarding the syntax, all these things, it is going to provide the corresponding list of Git comments. All those things you can able to check. So it is actually not hyphen. Okay, hyphen. Okay, fine. And then we will have a kind of command called init command, which is meant for to make our repository as local repository. It's not our directory, it is our directory as local repository. Then I can go with the command called init command. See, whenever you're trying to work with any kind of git command, you have to compulsory work with uh, git keyword. Okay, fine. I hope it is installed. Yes, I don't want to go for v-release notes. I will just click on finish. Okay, once we successfully install the git, you can go for start menu. Here you can observe three kind of editors. One is git GUI, git cmd, git bash. I mean, once you successfully install git, you will get three interfaces. One is git cmd, another one is git GUI, another one is git bash. Git cmd is a kind of a command prompt of git, which was given by the git. Okay, from here itself we can able to work with. So it is a kind of a command prompt, normal command prompt, but this is officially given by the git people. GUI means a graphical user interface where user no need to write the code, he can able to interact directly. He can able to interact, and based upon the given options he can able to select. Git bash, it is a kind of a Linux command prompt. It's a kind of a Linux command prompt where we can use Linux commands also. Okay, fine. For example, let me go with the command prompt. Let me go with the git command. Git GUI. Okay, guys, if you observe here, I will type git hyphen. Let me take version. You are getting some kind of output, right? Meaning that you have successfully installed Git in your system. Yes. This is the one way. Or if you want, you can go with the Git GUI. Through Git GUI also you can able to work. Observe. Here you will have an option called create new repository, clone existing repository, open existing repository. Like that you will have list of options. Among those list of options, you can able to select. Meaning that this is a kind of interface. Through interface also I can able to work. Or for example, I would like to work with git bash. See, some people are familiar with Linux commands, but they are using in the Windows operating system. If they want to continue that Linux commands in the Windows operating system, then we can use git bash also. Here also you can able to use git space hyphen version. It's going to provide as some version. If you want to know various kind of commands which are given by the git, then I can go for git hyphen help. You can observe these are the various kind of commands like git clone, git init, git add, mb, restore, rm, bisect, difference, grep, log, branch, commit, merge, rebase, reset, switch, tag. All these are the various kind of commands that are supported by this git in order to satisfy all our requirements. Okay, not only these three, we can go with basic command prompt also. Okay, fine. You can observe, guys, here git space hyphen version. Here also it is producing because meaning that we can able to work with from command prompt also. Not only the main thing, we can able to go with the operating system command prompt operating system also. Or while installing, we have defined some terminology there. We can able to work with any kind of third party softwares also. So like that, we can go for any kind of editors. We can go with any kind of editor like Visual Studio or any kind of Sublime Text, like that. We can able to work with any kind of editor. Okay, from here also I can able to do. Yes, fine. I have shown it through command prompt. Let me go with Visual Studio. I'm going to open one folder. Let me take E drive. Here in the previous session I have created a folder called CJK1 folder. Click on select folder. That folder will be loaded. Yes, let's click trust. I'm going to open my index.html. Yes. In the previous session, I have created this code. Now what I will do is I will try to open the terminal. Click on new terminal. So from this terminal also I can able to execute my Git code. Observe we are at the CJK1 directory. Now if you want you can check git space hyphen version. The term git is not recognized as the name of the CMD or Git. Okay, fine. See what happened here is I need to restart this file. I need to restart. Where it is there. Simply what I will do is I will simply go for exit. Again I will open VS Code, or else here I have an option VS Code option. So it is not loaded properly. Now observe. It is history is restored. Now we can observe here git space hyphen version. Okay, fine. So this is the way you can able to install Git in your local system. Okay, fine. So in the next session, we'll continue with various kind of Git commands. Yes, ma. Hi everyone. In the previous session, we have seen how to install the Git and what are the various ways to you can able to work with the Git. One is through Git command prompt, Git GUI, Git bash, and basic command prompt of operating system, and we can go with any kind of editor. Okay, and also we have seen two kind of commands. One is version command, another one is help command. Now in this session, we will go with init command. Init command. Yes, guys. See, observe. Up to now, this CJK1 folder is a kind of local directory. CJK1 is local directory. I will try to explain something here. You can make it clear. CJK1 is local directory. Local directory. Actually, what will happen on this? If you are going to perform any kind of modification, and if you lost that modification, you can't able to get back. You can't able to get back. But if you make this CJK1 as local repository, modified files or whatever the problem that you are facing, all will get back. Our problem will solve. So here you will get a question, how to make our local directory as a local repository. That is what we can do with help of a command called init command. Init command is meant for to make our local directory as git local repository. See how we are going to do that. You can observe here I'm trying to write git space init. We are in a path called CJK1. If I'm trying to enter git space init, initialize empty git repository. Now this repository, this is a kind of a repository. On this, if you are trying to perform any kind of operations, automatically we can able to get back also. If you want, you can do it. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. See guys, for further explanation of git commands, let me go with a small diagram here. Hmm, let me go with my desktop. I have one image I have prepared. Yes, here you can observe one image is there. Yes, you can observe. So for further understanding, you have to know this concept clearly. Yeah, here we are having three stages. One is working directory, another one is staging area, another one is local repository. Right now we are at CJK1, right? That is working directory. The files which are available in the working directory are called as untracked files, meaning that Git doesn't know about all these files, meaning that it is not tracking. It knows, but it is not tracking. Once you make use of add command, that will be converted to a tracked area, tracked files, meaning that the file will comes to the staging area. Okay, so in order to convert untracked files into tracked files, we will use add command. If you want to get back the tracked files to untracked files, I can use a command called reset command. If you want to commit the code, commit the data from staging area to local repository, then I can use a command called commit command. Commit command. Okay, I hope you understood clearly. Meaning that by simply writing init, it doesn't mean that it is a kind of a local repository. It is something like a working of Git repository. Once you add, that will comes to staging area where your Git knows about everything of your file, whether it is modified, whether it is not modified, all these things it knows. That is what you call it tracking. And from tracking to you are going to do it in the local repository by simply using a commit command. Okay, fine. So let me go with all those comments. First one is status command, which is meant for to check the status of code. To check the status of code. That status can be whether it is a untracked area or whether it is a tracked area or it will be in the form of local repository. For that, we will use a command called status command. Add command is meant for to convert convert untracked files to tracked files Similarly, reset command is meant for to convert tracked files into untracked files Similarly, commit command is meant for to permanent save in local repository. First, we'll go with the commit command. Let me show with the execution part. Okay, let me go with clear. Yes, I have cleared everything. Now, guys, if you check git space status, now if you are checking the status and the data which is available here comes under untracked files because you didn't added it to the uh, our repository. Just check git space status. On branch master, I said while installing the default root is remaster and there are no commits yet. It is under the status untracked files. What is the status? It is under untracked. So what files are untracked? Index.html is untracked. Yes. To make it tracked, I can go with git space add space dot. Dot means I can add, I can convert all kind of untracked files into tracked files. I don't want. I would like to go for specific file. Then I can go with the specific file like index.html. I would like to convert all untracked files into tracked files. That means I am trying to take it as dot. You can observe it has tracked. Now if we check the status, git space status. Now no commits yet, but changes to be committed. See, you can observe the difference between these two. It is in the form of red mark and it is in the form of green mark, meaning that it is at somewhere it is saved. Okay, fine. Now what I would like to do is, I would like to use a reset command. Git space reset. What file you need to reset? Index.html. You can observe the use of reset is to get back tracked file into untracked file. Now to check that once again, if you go for git status, you can observe guys, again you got red color. In the previous you got green color, now again you got red color, because I am trying to convert tracked file into untracked. That's why it is converted into red color. That is the use of reset command. Okay, fine. I'm going to clear for making clear understandability. Now let me take git space status. Now it is in red color because it is untracked file. Now what I would like to do, I would like to save it in the local repository. First step is we have to add it and make it as a tracked file. Yes, we have make it as tracked file. Then you have to make it commit by using a command called commit command. Commit. You have to use the syntax -m. -m is meant for message. See, while working with GitHub also, after modifying some particular thing, you have used some commit message. That message is reflecting here also. Commit m index file created. Index file created. And after that in GitHub, you have an optional message also. That optional message you can able to define with the help of -m. -m index file description, meaning that in this optional one you can able to create description of the file. Git space commit -m. Yes guys, we can observe now in the master commit done, index file created, and this is a kind of hash code. You can observe hash code. There also in GitHub hash codes are generating. In GitHub, if you open one particular file, if you open one particular file, for everything hash code will be generated. Hash code will be generated. Okay. Now also for the commit hash code will be generated. Okay. Now if you check the status, now the tree is very clean. Observe the working tree is clean because all are saved in the repository. All are saved in the repository. Guys, here now what I will do is, I would like to modify something here. Observe, I am going to go for anchor tag href equal to csc.html. csc.html. Guys, now I have saved. I have saved this file. Now, if I check the status, you will get the file as untracked because we modified it. That is why it is showing. You have modified, so that's why it was in the form of red color. Now, if you want to make it comment this change also, you can go for adding it to tracked file. That's what git space add space dot. Then you have to make it permanent, right? By using git space commit space -m message. Message is something like anchor tag added. Anchor tag added. Guys, the remaining m is optional one. Observe what happened here. One insertion is done and one deletion is done. Deletion done means that the line number has moved. The line number has moved. Okay, this is the way you can able to do commit. So the syntax of commit is, you can go with git space commit -m is meant for message. You can go with the message, and -m again you can go for message description. Message description. Okay, for adding add command you can go for git space add dot, or I can go with the specific file. Go with specific file. Okay, fine. So this is the way you can able to do. Next kind of command, let me take the command as log command. Log command, which is meant for to log the operations. To log the operation. What kind of operations we are doing? We are doing commit operation, right? At the end, those operations is going to be logged with corresponding some specific set of properties. Observe, I am trying to make it clear, and I am trying to say git space log. If I am trying to enter, it is going to show all the committed data. See, first what I have done, index file created, index file description also it is going to provide, and that hash code is this one. See guys, hash code is somewhat lengthy here, but if you observe, the first 7 characters also unique, and after that we have done second commit, that is anchor tag added. Here also it is going to have 7 characters as unique. Okay, fine. Instead of getting like this kind of log, I can go for getting in a form of single line, git space hyphen hyphen one line. Okay, 1 minute. The syntax mistake is there. Git space log space hyphen one line. Now observe, instead of getting this much length of description and all the code, hash code, all those things, it is going to convert into a single line. So this is the latest command, and this is the first commit along with the hash code. Okay. For this log also, you can write like git space log, or you can go with git space log hyphen hyphen one line, which is meant for to display in single line. Every commit displayed in single line. Single line. Okay, guys. Yes. Now you can observe. I will try to add one more line. For example, after another list, I am going to add one u tag, underline tag. So I'm thinking that it is end of the branch. End of the branch. I have saved this file. Now, guys, if I check git space status, it is going to make it as untracked. Untracked, right? Yes, untracked. Now, for example, I would like to identify what are the modifications I did from the previous commit to present. From the previous commit to present. Then what I can do, I can use a command called diff command. And from what file you need to compare? This one. You can observe the difference. So in the previous code, you have this particular code is there, and this one, and this one we have added. That's why it is showing in the green color. See, observe. This is the difference you are getting. So whatever the data that you have added latestly, that will be highlighted in the green color. You can able to simply observe this is the data that we have modified. Okay, fine. So I can write here diff command, which is meant for to define difference of codes. To define difference of codes, what I have modified, that we can able to define with the help of diff code. I'm going to clear it once again. Yes, guys, once I made some kind of modification, if I get status, you know, this is a kind of untracked. So what I will do, I would like to make it as a tracked by using a git space add space dot, and then I'm going to make it commit git space commit hyphen m. I'm going to define like end of the branch. Add branch added. See, one file change, that is one insertion, end of the branch added. For this also you have got a kind of code. Yes. Now if you want to check the log file, you can go for git space log. I'm going to go for only single line log. Now for example, what is the use of commit means? I can able to get back to the previous one. Now I mean I would like to move to now present code is right, end of the branch. This is the code and this is the present code. I don't want to go for, I would like to move to the previous commit. I would like to move to the previous commit. Then I can write a command called checkout command. Get checkout. What kind of commit? Where you need to move? For example, I need to move up to the anchor tag added, or I want to go for up to index file created. Then I can copy that. I can paste here. Just press enter. You can observe, guys, in the editor also that has modified. There is no kind of end of the branch added. There is no kind of anchor tag. Observe, there is no anchor tag. There is no kind of end of the branch. That is the advantage of Git. Advantage of Git. See, observe, it is switching to this particular hash code. Okay, fine. So the syntax of checkout. Checkout is meant for to get back to the previous version. Guys, there are other advantages are there that we'll see in the next session. Like if you write git space checkout, you have to write hash code. You have to write hash code that will be moved to the latest that will move to the corresponding commit. If you are writing like git space checkout hyphen b, you can write something like branch name. That we'll see in the next session. Similarly, you can go for git space checkout hyphen d, something like ename, which is meant for to delete the branch ename. which is meant for to create the branch CNAME. So this is also one more advantage of checkout command that we'll see in the next session. Branch is very, very helpful for us. Okay, this is the way you can able to. Guys, for example, now I have moved to this one. I don't want. I want to get back to the latest one. I am not interested this one. I want to get back to the previous latest one. Then what I can do, I can have a commit command. Then I can go for this git space checkout checkout. I can copy that command. Observe. Previous head position was changed from DD912AA to CC99CEB. You can observe now. Anchor tag is there. End of the branch is also there. This is the way you can able to work with the checkout command. Checkout command. Yes, guys. Fine. So up to now we have seen what kind of modifications we did. For example, here I have given various kind of problems, right? Various kind of problems. When you lost the file, when you change, what changes you made. So comparisons we did with the help of diff command. And if you want to get back to the previous version, then I can go with the checkout command. If you are at separate places, then that we'll see in the next class. And for example, let me delete a file. Let me delete a file. Let me create one file. For example, in the command from here itself I will create. I have created one more file like delete.html. I have created. I'm going to define something like HTML body. I am going to delete this file. Delete this. That's it. I have saved this one. So this is because I am trying to delete here itself. Now, if I check for status, it is untracked because we have added untracked files are there. Delete.html. I am going to clear more so that it will come to the center. It is untracked. So as it is untracked, I can go for adding it to the repository by making it as tracked file, git space add space dot. Now if I check for status, you will get as tracked files. Now I would like to go for commit, git space commit -m. I am going to make something like delete file created. Okay, fine. I have added and it's add some kind of commit hash code also generated. Okay, that's fine. Now what I would like to do is I would like to rename the file. Let me take renaming the file. We can have a command called mv command, which is meant for to move or to rename the file. To rename the file, what I can do is I can go for git space mv space. What is the file name you want to rename? Delete.html. Delete.html. The delete.html I want to move to a file name called d.html. d.html. Press enter. Automatically you can observe, guys, here the file will be renamed with d.html. d.html. You can observe. Okay, fine. So once I make it is deleted, I can check in the folder. You can check in the delete folder d.html. It has renamed dl.html to d.html. Okay. Now if I check the status also, git space status, it has renamed. It has renamed. If you want to add that to the tracked file, git space add space dot. And to make it permanent, git space commit space -m, and I am saying that is renamed as d.html. I am making it permanent. I am making it permanent. That's it. Okay, fine. You can observe. If I click that, that will be. So there is no file called delete.html. I am going to click remove that. Okay. Once I delete it, now what I can do is I can remove the d.html also by simply using a command called rm command. Git space rm. What is the file name you want to delete? d.html. You can observe rm d.html also deleted. So the command for to delete the file in the github is rm, which is meant for to delete the file. Okay, so can we remove the file directly? Yes, we can remove the file directly and also that will be identified by your Git directly. Okay, so if you want, you can change it permit git space add space dot git space commit file deleted. File deleted, yes, fine. Now if you want to show the log, you can just check the log hyphen one log. See, observe how many commits we did. This many number of commits we did. So up to index file created, from index file to the file deleted we had. Okay, these are the some of the commands you can able to know while working with the Git. Okay, in the next session we'll see how to synchronize local repository with the Git repository. Okay, fine, with the help of various kind of command that we'll see in the next session.